Greatest common factor. In order to find the greatest common factor, we really need to know what factors are. I think the easiest way to, or one of the easiest ways to remember what factors are, is think back to when you learned your multiplication facts. So if I said something like 2 times 3 equals 6, well, we learned early on that that 6 is called our product. The 2 and the 3 we call factors. Factors are numbers that you multiply together to get a product. Another thing, we can call this 6, we can say that it is a multiple of both 2 and 3. So we can call that 6 a multiple of 2 or 3, or we can call it a product of 2 and 3. But 2 and 3 are the factors. So you might say a factor times a factor equals a product. Or you might say a factor times a factor equals a multiple. So it's important to know what factors are before we start trying to find common factors or greatest common factors. So let's look at common factors first. So if we're going to find the factors, let's say we want to find the factors of 12 and 8. We want the common factors of 12 and 8. Well, first let's think of all the factors of 12. In other words, we're going to ask ourselves, what can we multiply together to get 12? Well, 1 times 12. So 1 and 12 are factors of 12. 2 times 6. So 2 and 6 are factors of 12. Can we multiply 3 times something to get 12? Absolutely. 3 times 4 is 12. And since 4 is in this side, we've already listed all of our factors. So we have 6 factors of 12. Now let's list the factors of 8. Well, we can always list 1 and the number itself as a factor. Remember, we're doing 8. 2 times 4. 3 times nothing. 4 times 2. Well, we already have the 4, so we're good. So there are 4 factors of 8 and 12 factors that can make up 12. Well, if we want common factors, all we have to do is look to see what they have in common. They have 1 in common, so 1's a common factor. They have 2 in common, so 2 is a common factor. 3 is not in 8. They have 4 in common, so 4 is a common factor. And that's all those are all the factors that they have in common. If we want to look at the greatest common factor, well, all we have to do is look at the common factors and decide, well, which one of those is the largest number? Which one of them is the greatest? That's 4. So the greatest common factor of 12 and 8 is 4. So in order to find the greatest common factor, we can list all the factors for the two numbers, determine which ones they have in common, and simply choose which one of those common factors is the largest. Greatest common factor.